for a fun morning here at Hen and Chick Studio.
It's always a fun morning.
Well, that is true. That is true because there's so, you know, on a dreary day like today,
yes,
there's nothing better than coming into work and being surrounded by color and pattern,
inspiration,
the ability to be creative. There's nothing better than that. And that's one reason why I never am, it's never a hardship to go to work.
No, it starts your day and you get going. You have lots of ideas and inspiration and stuff. So we are located in Conrad, Iowa, which why it is a bit dreary here. We're in the middle of the United States of America. If you don't know where Conrad, Iowa is,
yeah, we are. I mean, I bet we're pretty darn close to the heart of the United States. That we're certainly in the heart of Iowa.
Heart of Iowa, for sure.
That is for sure. And we of course love to have people come and visit our brick and mortar store and our retreat center. But you know what's even better is to have customers from around the world. And I can say that because I know we have somebody who does not watch live because she's in New Zealand, but she always catches us on the replays, she says. And isn't that amazing?
Not only amazing when you stop and think about it, but how fun is that to know that you can touch somebody that you don't even necessarily meet in person, but just the...
So we do have a computer that we're watching and looking at. So we love to be able to know where you are from. So by all means, put in the comments where you're watching from this morning. Do you have your hot cocoa or your cup of tea? Or are you just a good old... right back here.
Okay.
Right back there. And if you have not joined us before, what we're going to do in the next whatever amount of time it takes us, there's no set time here.
Right.
We'd like to sometimes think, oh, we'll be fast. It'll be 15 minutes. And then it's like, an hour and 15 minutes because we talk, right?
Yep.
But the idea is that we're going to show you lots of fabric. We have a scanner that we scan the product. And if you, it's the system called Comet Sold or a platform called Comet Sold. If you're watching on Facebook, and I can see we have people on Facebook as well as on our website today. If you're on Facebook and you see a product that you like, then it'll come up when we scan it. Why don't you just scan something, Jamie, just so that we have... just scan this at the panel.
Yep.
We're going to be talking about songbook. So it comes up and it says 101. So if you enter Sold 101 in Facebook, it's going to send you a message in Messenger that is going to then you'll be able to add that to the cart and go to our website and check out. If you're on our website, there's a little bit more functionality. Would that be the right word?
Yeah, sure.
That you can scroll back and forth on products. You don't have to enter the word sold and the number.
More of an opportunity to see and to review. Maybe.
That's right. It's more, but there's a view, I can't remember what the button says. View product, I think is what it says. And from there, then you add that to the cart. The important thing is whether you're on Facebook or whether you're on our website, until you actually check out, the product does not belong to you.
Yes.
And so this morning, for example, as we're talking about the panel that Jamie has already put up, we literally only have 14 of them to sell because in this particular case, this is part of what has happened in the fabric world at the moment is we did not get the quantity we ordered.
That we desired.
And so, you know what? This is where we are thrown a lemon and we make lemonade.
Exactly.
And so let's just get started and talk a little bit about this panel.
Right, but let's talk about because I did see, I'm going to see if I can scroll back up here. But Deb Carlo was watching, not from Iowa. How do I scroll back up?
You just have to hit the scroll. There you go.
There we go. Where was it? She's watching from Orange Beach, Alabama today. So she is missing out on the beautiful Iowa weather.
That's right. She's enjoying the Alabama weather today. But, well, how fun. And I see Iowa and, of course, some of our local gals in Illinois.
Snowplow. Well, we know how that is.
Yes.
Too. Washington.
I see South Dakota there.
Green, yeah.
Yeah. How fun!
Scrolling, but yeah,
it is truly fun for us, and I love to think that there's no strangers out there, and that we all at some point are friends. And so I love the fact that if you want to say we have our friends with us this morning, and it's just exciting.
It is a good morning, but I'm sorry, I digress just a little bit back to where people were because we have this beautiful fabric collection that came in. I've already scanned the panel, and if you haven't figured it out, if you've been following us for a while, or if you're new, music is something that I believe thoroughly, and probably some of you too as well, believe music touches the soul.
Yeah.
It's from the heart. And we've got this beautiful collection in that's called Songbook. And we'll see what we can do. But this panel here that Heidi is up, it contains phrases of verses.
Right, we were discussing whether they're phrases or, and sometimes a title of a song is a Bible verse.
Right.
And so it goes back and forth. So, like, for example, why don't you read a couple of these?
And maybe let's see if we can. It's hard
get
for
a
us
little
to
closer.
see. I'm going to step to the back so we can see, make sure we're getting. So this one, yes, that's great, perfect, Heidi.
Okay.
Oh, for grace, 'tis so sweet to trust in Jesus. Go to your. There you go.
Okay.
Keep going.
Go this way.
Yep. And look at the coloring on this. Such a unique. We were talking about that too. That Goldie actually really likes these, and the coloring on them is different. Then Sings My Soul. Then if you go,
okay, I'm gonna fold it in half so I don't have to. My arms don't have to. Although I did my yoga this morning and my arms are stretched out. I still gotta
praise God from whom all blessings flow. And that one, this is the day. I should be singing all of them.
That's
Heidi,
right.
what am I doing?
That's right.
This is the day. Do I have an echo?
No,
day.
sorry. No,
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
not going to echo this morning.
What the Lord hath made, that the Lord.
I don't know that. In fact, I don't know that one. I know the verse, but I don't know that.
Only thou first in my heart, high King of heaven, my treasure thou art. And then, of course, let's go back over to this one. I love the peach color in here. Great is thy faithfulness.
Oh, I love that song.
Yeah. Anyway, I should have been singing all morning, all of those. But
and there's just a lot of sentiment that goes with these.
Absolutely.
I think you are brought to song truly. I'll sing in my head every once in a while. I do break out in song, but not quite as good as you.
Music does touch. There is something about how music can speak to the soul. How just a song can change your mood of the day.
I love listening to music.
Yes.
And it is amazing sometimes how that song can speak to you. I would totally agree with that. And so again, we are not. So here's what's going to happen. And let's grab this. I guess it's right here.
Yep,
right here.
Okay.
So we did get a pattern that we had planned on making into a kit. And this is a beautiful pattern by Fancy That Design House using the songbook, they called a new page, which I think is good. And this is actually a pillow pattern with 2 blocks, front and back, so 2 different pillows. We, of course, had visions of what that could have made into a quilt because I literally would take, since there's 6, I would make 6 of this. And then however many I needed of this block, I'd have to do a little layout.
Well, you might have to, play. You might have to make more blocks with it and such.
Yes, but we are not going to kit this because there's only 14.
Because we didn't get the quantity that
That's
we
right.
wanted.
Right.
So
if this is something that you're wanting, and I see some people already putting down, that's wonderful. Just remember, you can check out more than once. We will combine the orders. You can always write us little notes in the notes field and say, hey, I'm placing a second order. But since there are only 14 of these, if you absolutely want one of these, I would be going straight to the checkout, check it out, and then keep listening then to make sure that you get that particular panel. Now, there is more. There's another panel.
Yep. So keep watching for that. But let's go back to this pattern again. I'm going to bring it up just a little bit closer so you can hopefully see it in there. It has 4 different blocks, if you will, that you could combine and create your own quilt top according to what size you desire. Because that's the other thing. It's always a shoot for us because some people want king. And yesterday we just did a huge project.
That was me. I'll get it.
Making, what was it, a lap size into a king size.
Correct.
And so
Correct.
This allows you the opportunity to create the size that you would want.
Correct. So if you say, hey, I want a panel, I want the pattern, and I just want to make a pillow, that's awesome. But if you want to play with it a little bit more, it is not a square panel block. So that's why we really liked this particular pattern was because it fit in there so nicely because it was designed to fit this rectangular panel. And sometimes that is, it's always a little more difficult. And in fact, that's what we're going to bring up next here. And I just had a thought. I wondered if you could ever sew these back together to make more of the size of that one. I don't know. I thought it was going through my head. Okay, so there is also a small version of this panel and of the we're calling them, are they song blocks or verse blocks?
However you want to look at it. This one though is more monochromatic versus the other one has multiple colors.
That's
in
correct.
The larger blocks.
So one block is just more one color. Okay. And now we're selling it by like a panel. So if you purchase you've put up the half panel. Have you put up that panel too?
Nope, I haven't yet.
Why don't we do that as well? You want me? You want to do that so I can see both. So what we've done, because again we're trying to be accommodating. We try to think of how you might be inspired. Is that if you purchase the full panel, you're going to get this much, which is 24 of these blocks.
So there's 6 blocks as far as patterns.
Yeah, that's right.
6
And then
they're repeated.
And within that 24. Okay. So then as we were playing around with it this morning, I'm like, somebody might just want half of that. So we've created a half panel. So $9.99 is going to get you 24 of these. $4.99 is going to get you 12.
Right.
Okay.
And I'm going to go back and scan that small one again so you can see the
and
visually. You can scroll up and down if you're on our website easy, but
yes, I'm getting a little jealous. Cindy's in Florida instead of over in Grundy Center. I don't know about this.
Yeah.
Why aren't we in Florida? Oh, wait a minute, we're working.
We could take the show on the road.
We could take the show on the road.
It could be kind of fun.
It could be. I know, the darn budget. Okay. All right. So I hope everybody's understanding that.
Right.
So these are, again, are
There's
more
two options from this one on more of the same phrases, more monochromatic versus
That's correct.
the large that
That's
has,
correct.
that has all more coloring to each block. In
right. They have, multi-coloring. Okay. So one of the things, and we'll come back to how to use the smaller one.
Okay.
Let's at the moment, because I'm sure everybody is wanting to see the beautiful fabrics. So
Can I start with my fave?
Yes, you can start with your favorite here, and I'll click and you talk.
Yeah. So this one actually comes in. What is it? 4 or 5 different ways that the script is worded on this, but this is the multicolored one, and it's not coming up right now for whatever reason.
We're gonna try one more time. Trying to behold it. Interesting. We're gonna get it yet. There it was.
Just we're getting all the bars on it.
Yeah.
But if you look at this as I come in close, it's the words and the phrases repeated. This one has all the colors on it. I'm trying to kind of turn it so you can read a little bit.
So that's 105. And then as you are showing that one, then we have it in the rust color. The next one should come up as is it navy, or is it being called navy?
It's navy or blue. It's a dark blue.
Yeah, and they're calling it navy. And which one did I miss? Oh, the neutral. So that one is completely neutral. So white on white, and it really is white on tan.
Yeah, kind of more of a muslin-y background.
And then the teal one back here.
Yep. And I'm going to show this one so you can see the navy color. This is my favorite. I love words anyway, but you could use this as a feature piece. You could use it as a background.
And we're using it as binding.
Or border.
Yep, it could be a lot of different things. So just to show you that is a really fun piece. But then I think it is so pretty how this collection, it has
Maybe we'll step out of the way
so
I can kind of see.
It has a beautiful set of neutrals. And I'm going to say florals. I'm going to go through them here. And we can always come back to them. But so you can start to see which ones you might like. Oops.
And I'll grab this larger floral because, again, it's repeated. Great standalone, does not have to be used with the collection either. You can mix and match it with other collections to create your own look. But that large scaled floral comes in several different of the color patterns or palettes. Another one that's really nice is...
I was going to try to bring that one up again. Not hot.
I think...
There it came.
You may not be getting all the bars sometimes or something.
Yeah, it's just a matter of just
there you go.
Angle.
You got that one. Okay, and then, so shall we switch?
You bet.
Since you do it.
Of course, I did this one, so if you start here.
You want to talk about a little bit of the designs. I'm going to continue clicking through.
Yep, she'll continue clicking through so you can see them. But look at this absolutely sweet butterfly that is one of the pieces. And again, There's some that have the neutral background. You're going to see the butterflies again in the navy. I'm not sure what color this is when we get to that. What
it's
color?
Actually a color.
Like a gold.
Yeah.
And then the teal. So as you can see that there's these sweet butterflies, and you can tell by the size of my hand that they are small. So they're going to cut up nicely as we go. So that is one of the pieces. And
so I did get the other butterflies as well.
Okay.
Stand in as you were doing that one.
Yep. And so which piece are you on now?
I was going back to the large florals.
Okay.
So
again, and as I'm going to just pull this out, as she's showing again, the more you're going to do all the florals. Yeah. Again, then there's some background pieces. Sometimes you got to have that piece that maybe is not quite so.
And that one is actually, I believe, called cobble. If I remember, something with cobblestones or stone.
Stone path.
Stone path.
Stone path. So this is what they're calling pink. I will tell you, I think it is a little bit more of a corally pink than what I would call, because like I'm wearing mauve pink, and it's more orangey, and you've got hot pink, and next to that, it definitely looks peach.
I would call it more peach.
Yes, I would not call it a true pink.
Okay, so we got all of those cobblestone ones.
And I know you are a feather person.
I'm a feather person on not necessarily wearing feathers, but I'm a feather person because of the verses. And I'm never good at memorizing the exact verse, but the one I'm going to say where God's wings will wrap you, surround you, and keep you safe. That kind of a verse. And Psalms 90.
And feathers can be so significant in that. So, we got Becky is in Arizona. I think a lot of our
people out.
A lot of our customers have gone south for a while. I wonder why.
Yeah.
A blizzard last week, freezing rain this week. Yeah.
Zero temps. Why not? Right?
Oh yeah. So you got the feathers there.
I did get the feathers.
And there's also a little piece. I'll pull out this one again while you do the other colors. A little flower bud piece. And so again, some great pieces. As to how you might use them. Now, all right, Jamie, you tell me when you think you've hit all of them yet?
The only one we haven't talked about is kind of this divine trail.
Oh, yeah, and I'm going to pull this one out from the front. And again, look at this. This one has all of the colors in it, and it is called a reaching stripes with leaf, and I love that. And it, to me, has a little bit of a doodle look. Want to do that one again?
Yep.
And I don't think we got that one. I didn't want to go. There we go. So that is also a very pretty one. Now, of course, Jamie, we're always just because we were given a challenge of not having enough panels
and the creative opportunity.
Yes. That does not stop us, does it? Does not stop us whatsoever. And in fact, I think in some ways it pushes us.
It does.
And it's exciting in some ways.
It is, yes.
Instead of thinking, we're just going to do the old normal
Molly,
thing.
yes, on Eagle's Wings. That's a song as well.
Yes.
On Eagle's Wings. Yep.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
we'll
Very
keep
good.
going. Right on.
Yes.
There's several of them. But the feathers, feathers are symbolic in biblically and also in different cultures as well.
Yes.
So
there's so many different things.
You can do.
And painting them, I've tried to doodle them.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of different things that we can do with them, and it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, we are not stopping with that.
Nothing can stop us.
Nothing can stop us. So,
which is a song of a whole different.
So based on the fabrics that we did receive, look at this lovely bundle. Don't you want to hit it? Look at this lovely bundle. It just is feeling so good, right? Okay, so there's some beautiful fat quarters.
Yep.
And
so it's 24 fat quarters, and then I believe a half yard for binding, a yard and a half, somewhere around there. I'm not sure.
Yep.
It's in the description online because we've talked about this before with the fat quarter versatility, knowing the other yardage. You don't have to use the pattern that we have selected. So in some ways, you're getting a little bit more fabric with the kit, again, so that you have that versatile. So where you get limited is if you make it bigger, you might not have enough for border fabric or binding. Right.
But we have options. So when we started looking at this, okay, so let's tell them what our thought process is.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, is that
our first debate was we're going to kit all 14 of them in the pillow as pillows. That's just it.
That's
our first
That's
step.
first option.
But then limits, and it doesn't give opportunity, and like maybe not everybody wants a pillow, and since we only have 14, so kind of nix that idea.
That's right, because I think we do like the idea that you then can take the panel and decide, again, if you like the idea of the project we have, you can use that as your jumping off point, because I still think those blocks are beautiful, but you can make a decision as to, do you want a wall hanging, do you want a lap size, or do you want literally a bed size quilt?
Right.
Okay, so then when you look at the fabric, and again, let's step out for just a second. There is something stunning about, I'm gonna say this group right here, okay?
The neutrals.
The neutrals. And we decided to not include them in the kit except for the multicolored words, and instead focused on all the other colors, and then picked, let's show them what we picked.
Hold on. It's out of the Stripology Mixology 3 book. Let me scan that first. Set that down. So we love flipping through, and sometimes something will jump out. Now, really, you could choose any pattern of your liking would work.
Yes, any pattern.
This one is what particularly jumped out at us, and it's called Zoe. I'm going to kind of zoom in on that.
If you're not familiar with Stripology books, they're from GE Designs. Gudrun Erla is the designer, and I love how she supports her products. And so we talk a lot about the Stripology rulers. We're not getting into those this morning, but we have done a cutting. If you go to henandchickstudio.com/cutting tips and tricks, there's videos, there's all sorts of information about that. But can you see this
I'm gonna hold this back up that?
And so
Heidi,
I'm going to say this is the background. And then we chose, I'm going to pull it out. We chose this.
Well, do your inner.
Yeah, hold on.
They're stuck in there.
Okay.
There you go.
So inner border, outer border. I'm going to go this way because you really won't see as much of the inner border. And this is the outer border. And then we came back and did this as the binding.
Correct.
So again, gives you a little creative opportunity that you could get if you wanted a little bit wider. If you ended up making more blocks, you could use what was for binding. You could use it for the inner border,
and
then
you
have
wanted
scrappy
to expand
binding.
It, we did it as the lap size, but if you wanted to expand it, there was enough to go to. I believe it was the twin out of the fat quarters. You would just need additional yardage of this
more border fabric. More border fabric. But I think that's going to be stunning.
Other cool thing I gotta say, Heidi, that I really like about a lot of her patterns have multiple layout options, and this one goes to more where this one is more of that scrappy feel of looking a lot of things. Another one she shows in here is more of the monochromatic, as far as just like 3 basic colors.
I'm struggling. I can't get it back in.
Okay, we can fix it later.
I'm gonna lay it. I can't get it back in.
But I wanted to show you this. This was the option of the layout that was shown in the picture. But look at the other options of the layouts that you could do. Imagine the looks of that. And as I look at these and they jump out at me, one thing I thought of this, some of them kind of have a secondary effect. Like this could almost be with the feathers. With the arrows or feathers and stuff.
Yes.
So a great thing, because we could all, maybe this will be another thing that we do sometime with the So Long, is pick one of these and then you pick your layout to see if we might
how the same thing can look very different.
Even with the same exact fabrics. So great project.
So the Stripology Mixology 3 book is not in the fabric kit. So if you want the kit of fabric, again, that's 24 fat quarters of everything except the creams here and tans, plus then the background fabric border, that kind of thing. Other than that, then you need the book separately. And so that would be, you would have to purchase
to make it larger. Again, that panel, it does not come with it. We've decided to not put the panel in any kit.
Correct.
The option of you to create what you want with it. Like I just said to Heidi, I think I need the panels. I don't even know what I want to make with them.
And so the large panel, again, there's only 14 of those. And the same thing kind of goes, depends on how people end up buying it. I only have 14 if you buy the $9.99 version that has 24. And then depending on how many people buy, that will tell us how many we can do of the half panels. So again, you have that pop. Now, what are you going to do with these, right?
Well,
isn't that the next thing?
Because we can't stop there.
No, can't stop. All right.
And if you see something as well, you have an idea, please feel free to share. I mean, that's what we're about. Really, certainly we love to sell our product because we love it, but we are about inspiring people and being inspired by other people's ideas.
Oh,
too.
Absolutely. And I think there's more than one way to skin a cat.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Okay,
right?
Heidi.
Isn't that the phrase? and that is.
Personally, I've never skinned a cat. So.
Well, me neither. But actually, I have physiology high school.
Well, that's true.
Digress. Okay, but the point is that you get to take the elements that we're showing and make it yours. And I think that is truly what is exciting, and what we enjoy is seeing what people do with the ideas and take it and run with it.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Yes.
So when we're looking at that, because we know it can be challenging, and by certainly we have some people that love the challenge of creating something, and other people that just want something presented to them.
Yeah.
So looking at these blocks, again, they're rectangular, but I was measuring it, and 5.5 inches would get you basically the height of this block. So that width is a little bit more. You'd cut off just the tinsiest bit of the top of the vines on them.
And and let's just
wanted to do it as
let's just be honest about this. This is where personal preference and your willingness to do different things, it starts to play into, like if it bothers you that you're going to have to cut a little bit off the top and bottom, then this isn't the project for you, or actually a different variation. Is that something, again, you just have to be aware of when you're doing it. So this is the pattern out of here, and this is called Crossroads. And what Jami is talking about,
I like how it plays in with it.
Yes, it is. That this center square is, let me make sure that this center square is a 5.5 inch cut square, trims down to 5 inches. So you could put those small panels in those middle blocks, put them in here, and be able to, again, cut off just a little off the top, little off the bottom, and it would be in there good. Now, if you say, you know what, I can't do that, then you know what? Then put it in the bigger block and frame it. So if you want to say, if the bigger block is what? I don't even know. Is it 8 inches, 9 inches? Must be 9 inches, I think. I can't read at the moment where it is. Yes, 9 inches. Then you would mathematically figure out what you're going to add to that block to fill that. Now, I personally would use like that, the one with the words in it that, you could, that it would just, I think, blend into the background.
Yeah, that's what I would use too.
And stuff. So that's an option. That's the kind of thing that you've got to think about when you're again, deciding if that's how you want to use this panel.
Yeah. But a great way to jumpstart maybe a thought process of ideas.
And so even in this pattern, which we've already shown, it would be the kind of thing where one small one, you would just have to border it.
To put in there.
Right, and that's where I was saying, I wondered if you could actually sew several of them. They'd have to be really tight together. Yeah. It wouldn't be much border.
Challenges, right? But the other idea too, because not everybody wants a quilt. Like I just said to Heidi, I said to you yesterday, we're looking at a different collection that is coming. But I was like, I need to think outside the box. I need to think not just quilts, because she was making some of the most adorable other things. Besides quilts.
Yes.
And so a table runner, how can I use it in a table runner? Well, same thing goes with this. I was looking for something. And again, these blocks down the center were 5.5 inches. If it bothers you that it's cutting it in pieces, fine, don't use it. You could use it for something else. You could use any of the other fabrics into this. Wouldn't that be cute if you put like the navy and made it like navy through here?
It would be adorable.
But what I would do on this, and I'm going to do the same thing, Heidi, to make sure you can see what I'm talking about here, is take those, so the small panels, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 squares, put them through here, and then I would use the scripted background that I showed you, the very first one that had all the colors on it, on the outside. But of course you could use whatever you want to. That's just my thought at this moment. And that might change 2 minutes from now when I think of something different. And then I would make these patches different colors. So just an idea of a different thing that you could do with the same fabrics, just using them in a different way. And we know there's so many, a lot of time we have people that make things for their churches to be used, or a gift, or things. I mean, there's just again, if you have a different idea, please share, because somebody else is more than likely to be inspired by what you're sharing as well.
Oh, absolutely. And, just want to say we're so glad to have so many of you on here this morning. And as you're hearing us talk, just remember, in order to secure that you want that one of these, you do have to go all the way through the cash register process. A couple of you have already done that, and congrats, you are definitely getting the panels that you're wanting. And so just know that they are going to go quickly. Not to put pressure, but it's one of those things, if it is something you want. Because Jami always says, even as an employee here, you miss stuff sometimes. Yes.
I think, I'll get it tomorrow, and I come back tomorrow and it's not here.
Yeah, and so it is something that on the panels.
Starting to panic that those panels might be gone by the time we get on
that's right. So anyway, and I see Marilyn is suggesting 3-yard quilts in general. We could pull together combinations and combinations. Okay.
Great. Okay.
I'm wondering if we should do a little set change.
We are going to do a little set change here.
So I'm going to just, this is where we have to think about our best Jackie. Jackie, our bookkeeper, is a former musical play director and is the expert at set changes. Jami worked with her many a times to accomplish that. And so, do you think I should go all the way this way? Okay, here we go. I'm gonna go back down. So bear with us. Don't get too dizzy.
We are maybe someday. Now, Heidi, do we need to
you over here.
Okay.
And
let me grab the scanner.
Yeah,
someday we joke that maybe we need a travel budget. I'm going to move this out of the way too a little bit. Can you see these? Or
yeah, yep, you can see them perfect. Okay. Yep, you're good. But you go in just there. You go. There you go. I'm gonna. Oh, you know what we can do? I know what we can do. Just keep talking.
Just keep talking. Well, actually, you know what I was going to say, Heidi? I could go like this.
Oh, wait a minute.
Then we're there. Look at that.
We're probably now we're knocking down the display. Yeah. This is live TV. This is what happens. Yeah. But it's all good.
We'll make adjustments to the view, and hopefully. But this isn't one of our. Well, she's looking at this, and you're wondering, as we have no problem discussing or talking typically.
No, we don't.
But this is another collection that we showed it.
We showed it maybe
a little bit ago.
Yeah, but we finally have the store sample done. Mm-hmm. It's called The Flower Farm, and this is also a Moda fabric, and this is from Bunny Hill Designs, and she always comes up with very sweet. She does a lot of wool applique and stuff as well. But when we look at her fabrics, and I look at this collection, it is so sweet. And I'm
going to scan through these really quick and push these out of the way so that maybe you can see some of them as I'm going through here.
And I'll pull up a couple of them up closer as you scan. So it's very sweet. You could definitely call this like a Valentine's collection, but at the same time, it is just a classic red and white, and it is just so sweet. So again, this is called The Flower Farm.
And I'll just start scanning some different ones here as we go.
Yes. And Victoria, we definitely have different heights in the store. I would agree with that too. And we've got somebody from Wisconsin. So I'm going to come back. I love red and white. I am a classic red and white person. I love red and white quilts, 2-color quilts. So when I saw this fabric, all I could think of was putting it with a neutral and making one of those 2-color quilts. And you can just see that it's just...
and Heidi, one thing we should mention too with this collection is, you already did that one.
Did I do that one?
Yep, I think you did.
No. Oh yeah, I did it in the other color, but here's a little bit darker. But what about this collection? Oh, it has a snail. Did I point out that it has a snail? It has a little snail in it right there.
Again, it's a collection that has some what I would call wonderfully beautiful neutrals.
Yes.
Just calm, soothing, but they could be easily combined or used individually in something else. So again, this you showed that one in the red, and there's the same print in the neutral. And we used this one yesterday with
a totally different
neutral.
Right, a totally neutral quilt. A customer from Colorado needed help making a wedding quilt, and it was super fun to be able to pick out fabrics and be a part of that process. So don't ever be afraid of asking us to help you. It's wonderful with text messages and photos. we can accommodate a lot
Yeah,
around
and then we
here.
get a lot of customer envy too.
Yes, then we do. And of course, you are scanning through all of the individual bolts of the flower farm. So while you're doing that, I, a lot of times, and I think you do too, we both, I mean, sometimes we see things the same and sometimes we see things differently, which is exciting. When I see a collection, immediately some patterns come to mind. And when I saw the flower farm, I immediately went to Celine Perkins Dry Goods. I think her patterns are traditional and classic, but can look so different. Any of you that have participated in our mystery quilts would definitely know that, because her patterns are very versatile and can be. We've done this in so many different color combinations. I'll be honest and say the front cover of this isn't my favorite color combination. I don't think it
necessarily plays with the beauty of the potential of the quilt.
That's correct.
As far as my opinion or your opinion goes, because it can be versatile to use modern prints.
Yeah.
And I don't know where we put
right there. But so Lavina's Diamonds, what I like about it is that she does use scrappy. So even though it might be a light and a dark, she's using in
Scraps
the throw size 10 to 12 fat quarters for the light prints and 9 to 11 fat quarters for the dark prints. So it gives you an opportunity to bring in those scraps.
Right.
Okay, so I'm holding under my arm. You put the pattern up, right? Okay, let me hold up the quilt. And there is definitely a little side effect to this one, and I don't know if I'll have it hanging the right way, but Jamie, when I took the picture of it, there's hearts. Look at that. Do you see the hearts that come up? I'm trying to get it up. See, like here, like it looks like a heart. And I don't know if I'll, but
I don't
that
think
wasn't,
that was planned.
No, it wasn't intended.
Here,
but
I'll pull up the picture, because the picture should show up online now for them.
Yes, and
so
I
that
can't.
they can see it.
Are we seeing it? You want to get out there? You want to get out there and see if we're seeing it?
Yeah. So what she's saying, like right here, is a heart. So you could really lay again with this one. Stephanie wouldn't have thought of that. Stephanie happened to make this one with a 4-patch. Like that one just was a normal 4-patch, but now look at the little heart right there.
Yeah, and it's not intended.
Yeah.
But I think a
that is
sweet
cute.
little
Surprise.
extra surprise.
Yeah. But imagine, because again, you could really lay these out. You could play with them and lay it out so that you would get that effect.
Even more dramatically. I love stripes. And I love using stripes in inner borders and binding. So that's exactly what we did in this quilt, is pull in that stripe, even the subtle tone on tone, pink on pink there. I think that is absolutely sweet.
Victoria, I'm just seeing the comment now too. Yes. You know what? I have never felt, and I've never felt height.
No, I don't feel tall and you don't feel short.
No,
that's exactly how we are.
We stand next to each other.
Yeah, we just,
And even then I don't feel it until we see it in a picture. Because in fact, one time I think Heidi said to me, Jamie, I didn't realize how short you were. And I'm just average.
So we do play a little bit to the camera on that.
Yeah.
So we try to put me behind Jamie so that Jamie is closer to the camera and looks a little bit taller. So, all of our secrets. All of our, we have no secrets around here.
Yeah, we could I could take a step stool, but that wouldn't be no fun. But yes, and again, if you're just joining us, thank you, because I saw Wisconsin, I think, pop up. Thank you, Joanne, for watching and playing along with us.
That's
today.
right. And isn't it? And that really is what we do. We play with fabric. When a customer comes in and we start pulling bolts out, and they're like,
"Oh, I'm sorry, you gotta put it all away." No.
Do not apologize, because that is what we love to do. It'd be like going to a library and not picking out a library book.
Yeah, exactly.
Be like, oh, I'm just going to look. No, we love to play with the fabric. So now the flower farm, of course, we have also broken it up into fat quarter bundles. There are enough fabrics in this collection that we've broken it into 4 collections. So you have, this is red.
Which is great by itself.
Yep.
Love them.
Pink. Now, of course, if you like the entire collection, and you could buy one of these, there will be no repeats. I'm going down here. This is pink. They're so sweet. And
again, I love the
cream tan.
Yep.
And so those are the 4 fat quarter bundles that you can get. Now we haven't done fat quarter bundles yet for Songbook.
Nope,
but it's on the agenda. But that will be at a later time.
Yeah.
And so that, again, super sweet. You could use any one of these by itself, or combine it with, like I always see, again, I'm going to go the red and white. Like, wait a minute, which would I do? Would I do these two? I think that two. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd have a hard time. Maybe these two. If I were going to do like a red and cream quilt and just use two.
Just two. Yeah. So the options again with that are amazing.
Yes.
And both collections are from Moda. I don't know if we mentioned that before, but these happen to be both collections from Moda Fabrics, which we are not set on
one particular company.
We will only get Moda or anything like that. We get what we feel.
I buy what we think is going to be the best fabrics, and from any particular company. And so I love, but the Moda had a couple great ones this recently that I love. Now the Songbook, and I have to look at that is Fancy That Design House. That is not a designer that I have to say I've been very familiar with. Now, Bunny Hill, I've known her for a long time, so, I certainly know what her stuff, looks like, but I'll be watching the Fancy That Design House. Fancy That Design House. I gotta, that's a phrase I gotta remember. So certainly fun to be able to do that. What are we looking for?
I'm looking for hat hooray.
Oh, okay. So there are two things that we also want to talk about. And of course, if you have questions or want to see any of the fabrics again, you can be putting it in the comments and we'll come back to it. If you're on our website, on the live shopping tab, you're able to scroll through much easier than on Facebook. At Facebook, it's a little bit harder for those to keep popping up. And okay. So the two things. I was going to say two things. And I've already forgotten. Okay. So the two things are, first of all, so exciting that we're ready to jump off 2023 with our Feathered Friends monthly subscription club. And we've had a lot of questions about that. It is a package that is delivered every month to you. It comes with a newsletter that's called the Chick Chatter, and it has this year we're doing kind of a block of the month quilt bonus stuff. And then I love to doodle as part of my morning devotionals. So you always get something to color, and it warmed my heart so much.
The creative community.
On the creative community, Sandy Tabor posted what her daughter had done with one of my drawings from the Chick Chatter newsletter, and I loved that. Love that. So anyway, you get this Chick Chatter newsletter, and then you get product. The product is based on the level that you come in. Now, will it be any surprise to tell them that you can be a chick, a hen, or a rooster? And they, of course, each one gets a little bit more. So that's something that you can decide. Now, you can pick it up in the store, or you can have it shipped. And we're always willing to work with you. There's some people who have it picked up, but then call us after a couple months and just say, hey, just ship all three or whatever. Or in the, we accommodate.
We do.
We work with you. So if that's something that, you think, hey, I'm going to try to get there, but the weather might not make it, then we can always ship it later. That's never.
As we look outside and it's this drizzly,
icy
stuff.
It's like foggy and whatever the heck it is. We're just going to stay inside where it is bright and cheery today.
Yes.
Okay, so Feathered Friends, a chick, hen, a rooster. If you go to the 3 links that Jamie has put on, you can read more about them. Basically, that's just to register, and then we would call you and confirm we have to have a credit card on file. We charge the 1st of every month. We ship the 10th of every month. That's kind of our pattern that we do. Am I forgetting anything?
No, I would just, it's something that you can gift to yourself or gift to a friend, or if you don't know what to get your mom or a grandma or something, it's just a great thing. And we do, I will say this, I will give us a pat on the back. We do take a lot of time thinking about and trying to get different ideas and different projects.
Right. And it's all new. And in fact, you get to see it before it ever hits the store as a Feathered Friends club member. So that's something that we do for Feathered Friends. So like the collection that is going to be in January isn't even on the store.
And it's a good one.
And it is. And yes, Stacy
is. So is February.
Yeah, February is good too. Oh yeah. And actually, I went back. I forgot we'd ordered as many as we already have. I think March, and April, and June. I don't know that we have anything for May yet, but June's really good. I'm really excited about June. But anyway, that is just a little fun. We'd love to have you come along. It is a month by month subscription. Certainly, we have some people, our goal is that you stay with us for the whole year, but we certainly understand how life happens. And so if you think, hey, you know what, I want to do it for a couple of months and give it a try, go for it. And we accommodate and work with you as we go.
Yeah.
So,
but let's talk about one more thing, because we probably, we've done the songbook, we've done the
Flower Farm,
but the other thing we have going on is we all have many things going on is we are starting our next sew along. And if you were with us in November, December, we did a sew along. Yeah, and we had so much fun with it and a lot of positive feedback, and so we decided why not
yes, we're having another sew along, and this time we're using a purchased pattern, hat hooray, because we know our customers have loved this. So a lot of you already have it. We've had some people already buy it. You can still buy it. Hat hooray is so much fun because we're also in stocking cap weather. It's what we do around here in Iowa. You got to have, and you can have cute hats. You can have a lot of cute hats.
Stacy thinks hats are an everyday accessory.
That's right. And there are some people that just wear them all the time. Yeah. So anyway, we're doing Hat Hooray. We're going to be doing 4 videos starting tomorrow for the next 4 Thursdays. And those are just going to be live on Facebook. There's no signing up. You don't have to participate to watch those. So if you just, want to catch up.
And you can pick up tips and tricks each week, even if you're not sewing along. But of course, we would love to have you sew along.
Because there will be prizes for those who do sew along with us, because we always love prizes.
So we're topping it off with a prize.
That's exactly right. And have I told you that I'm topping it off with cherries? I couldn't resist.
Put a cherry on top.
I'm putting a cherry on top. That just wait until you see my fabric.
Sneak peek of Heidi's.
Yeah, there you go.
Or not sneak peek. Clue.
Yes, teaser.
There we go.
Teaser.
Yeah.
Teaser. Okay. So again, if you want to read more about the Top It Off, literally go to headandchickstudio.com/top it off. No spaces in that, and you will be able to read the rules because there are very few, and that's where we will be posting the videos also each week after we're done, so that we have the opportunity to, again, that you could go back and watch them. So that will be very fun because there's something to learn in every single project.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm checking on here to see if there's anything anybody else needs. And Ellen is thinking a road trip is in order. And of course, Ellen, we would love to see you and Cindy come and join us. We'd love to see all of you.
Absolutely.
But don't ever risk the weather. And if there's something you need, again, you can order online. We can ship. You can order online. We'll pick it up. You can pick it up later.
Call us on the phone. We'll help you. We'll send pictures.
Yeah, whatever it is that we can do to help you be creative during these potentially sketchy months. In Iowa.
In Iowa. Or central United States. If they're in the Midwest. South, maybe, maybe they're enjoying flip-flops.
Oh, God, we have gone over a lot today. And you know what? Let's go back one more time to our panels. And just because that was so long ago at this point that we showed the panel, and I haven't not looked to see if there are any left, but I hope there are for you. This is the large songbook panel. With 6 blocks on it. And then we also have a small version of the panel that has either 24 or 12. And we're offering 2 options for that so that you have the ability to be creative however that looks for you.
Which I will look forward to seeing what people do on that.
Oh, I know. I think it'll be very fun.
Yes.
All right. Well, Jamie, I think we've
hopefully we've inspired you and made you smile today, whether you're in Iowa or Florida or Wisconsin or New York or wherever you are around the world, catching us live or later.
That's right. We hope that until the next time we see you, that you're being creative.
Have a great one.